Alright, it's looking kind of green. Today on Mark Reviews How-Tos, I'm going to show you how to clean out a fish tank. We're not going to clean it completely. This isn't a deep clean. This is just what you should do every week. And as you can see in here, we have a couple of goldfish. And goldfish are basically carp, so they're pretty dirty. And you really have to clean it out every week. They produce a lot of their own poop, so you got to get that vacuumed out and stuff. I'm going to show you just the very basics of how to siphon out some water, and this will probably be a multi-part video as I get started here. So first thing to do, you want to unplug, I'll freak your fish out too. You want to unplug the pump so that you don't get electrocuted. It's always a good idea. And then you have to take your hood off. This particular hood happens to be LED, so I don't even bother to turn off the lights or anything. I'm not too concerned about what it's going to do to us. And I like to prop it up behind here so that I can see into the fish tank. And now you can see there's all kinds of stuff on the top too. That's pretty disgusting. So I'm going to show you the most dangerous part. You want to get like a 5-gallon bucket of some kind. This is an old food storage bucket that had wheat. And then you're going to get your fish tank siphon. Now this end acts like a vacuum attachment. So this is the end that we're going to stick in and kind of pass it around inside the fish tank and suck out all the poop and old food and whatever's in there. And this other end here is going to go into the bucket, and that's where all the water is going to go. So the trickiest part to any siphon is getting the vacuum process started. And I will be the first to admit that this is not something I like to do very much because out of the several times I've cleaned out this fish tank, I have inadvertently sucked in some fish tank water twice. It's pretty gross. As a word of advice, since this end is covered with stuff, I try to clean it off every week, but use kind of the first 2 fingers of your hand and create kind of an extension to the pipe right here. And that way you can put your mouth on your hand instead of on the pipe itself, okay, or the tube, I suppose. So you just stick this end in here, okay, and to get the process started, like I showed you here, and you want to stick it into the bucket. There you go. So far so good. This time I did not suck in any fish water. So as that's going, you're going to want to probably remove your nasty pieces of fish tank decor, like this plant here. And I just stick it right in the bucket because I'm going to go clean that out. And I'll angle this down a little bit so it's easier to see, but just start going to work, sucking up the stuff from the bottom. This is now using basically a vacuum process to slowly suck up the pieces of crud that are inside the fish tank. And then it goes all the way through this larger tube, all the way down through this thing, and ultimately into the fish tank, or the bucket that I brought to clean out the fish tank. Now, you never want to remove all of the contents of a fish tank, obviously with your fish in there too, but you want to make sure that you're only taking out about 25% of their water at any given time. Fish have a slime that they develop that's a protective layer on their skin, and keeps them healthy, keeps them disease resistant. So if you remove absolutely all of the slime and algae inside the fish tank, it can actually cause them more harm. So definitely, you want to get out the majority of the large particulate matter that you can see inside the fish tank. And sometimes that's best done by just letting things settle here for a little while, but because I'm making a video, I was doing this pretty quickly. So as you can already see, the water level of the fish tank is going down quite a bit. This is a 5-gallon bucket, and this is a 20-gallon tank. So if this was completely filled up, we would be taking out exactly a quarter of the water in here. I usually take out a little bit more than that, probably closer to 30-35% of the water, just to really get it clean. And the other thing that I would offer as a piece of advice is we have this kind of wall scrubber thing, for lack of a better term. This is a magnetic piece. It's called a mag float. Just kind of has like the scratchy part of Velcro basically stuck on this side, and then a smooth pad on this side. The scratchy part goes inside the fish tank. And actually I'll do it on the front wall here so you can see a little better. The scratchy part goes inside the fish tank. You can use this then. The fish hate it, kind of scares them. We use this on the fish tank itself to kind of scrape off any remaining algae or slime that's stuck on there. So that's another thing you can do, and you can actually do this midweek without having to break out the bucket and stuff, to just clear out some of the nasty slime that's on the front. And when I'm all done with everything, I like to go over the outside with a little bit of Windex on a paper towel and just clean off the front of the tank. So, you know, when that's all done, I'll probably show you something about the fish a little bit later. The only other thing you can ever really do to clean out a fish tank is on your filter. You want to check this. This is pretty disgusting. This is where all the food and slime and everything goes. You can see how brown and disgusting that is. You want to switch that out, and you can buy those replacement filters pretty easily. Any local pet store. Okay, that's it. Those are the basics. I'm going to end this video here and do an actual good job of cleaning out the fish tank so that they're happy. If you like this video or the other videos that we have on this channel, please subscribe and spread the word. Tell your friends what we're up to. And let me know in the comments below if you have any tips for how to keep a fish tank cleaner. I know one of the tips would be to not have goldfish. But you know, these guys have been alive for, well, it's February? Almost 4 months at this point. So cleaning it out regularly must be doing something right. Thanks. Subscribe to this channel. Have a great day.